to 7 reasons to consider a bus for your next rig. Hi guys, it's Sarah Tree again, and I'm back with 7 more reasons. And in case you guys don't know, I do 7 reasons because, well, 10 just takes way too long and 7 is long enough, and I'm extremely long-winded on certain subjects, especially when it comes to stuff about RVs, so I had to limit myself to 7. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the 7 reasons why you might want to consider a bus. There's all kinds of buses. We've got shuttle buses, school buses, Greyhound buses, double-decker buses. I mean, the list goes on, and they all come in different sizes and shapes, and all different manufacturers have different buses, and you might pick one for whatever reason, just like any other vehicle. You might search out one because you like the certain type of engine they have, or the body style, or the year. So the sky's the limit when it comes to school buses. And just a disclaimer, I am a little prejudiced, just like I was in the last video about the box trucks, because I used to own a school bus, and I still have a soft spot in my heart for them, which leads me to reason number 1. I feel like school buses are just flat out cool, you guys. All buses are cool, but my favorite has to be a school bus. I've always just loved them. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was because I used to watch The Muppet Show when I was a kid or something, and they had a cool old school bus. I don't know. I've just maybe grown up around too many hippies or something like that when I was a little girl. I don't know. I just always have thought that buses were cool, especially school buses. Number 2, they're very heavy duty, just like I was saying about box trucks. They are a commercial vehicle. Every bus is a commercial vehicle, and so they are built to last. They are built to take a lot of abuse, and especially when you're talking about a school bus, they're extremely well built because they have to protect our children in an accident situation. And a lot of times, especially when I was a kid, there were no seat belts in those seats, and so the kids could just run around inside the bus. Well, if the bus has to roll over or something like that, you don't want the kids to fly out the window or something like that. So yeah, they're going to be made pretty tough. That to me is a really good reason to consider any kind of commercial vehicle, especially a bus, because you want to build your house on a very good foundation. You don't want to be building it basically like the Bible says. You don't want to build your house on sand. So to me, it's better than some cheap, flimsy old RV. Okay. Number 3, they're relatively inexpensive to buy still. That's probably going to change, and I'm sure it's changing right now. The popularity of buses in general has skyrocketed, just like anything else that you can build out into an RV or a tiny home, because of our current world situation that's been happening at least for the last 10 to 20 years. And it's increasing even more because of the COVID thing. And the fact that people want to be able to take vacations still, but they don't want to go to a motel or be restricted in any way or have to worry about something. So the sales of RVs and things like that have skyrocketed. The rentals of RVs have skyrocketed, and any kind of vehicle that you could possibly turn into a camper, the sales are going up steadily. And buses are extremely popular right now from what I've been hearing. So as of right now, they're still relatively inexpensive and easier to find when it comes to certain things, but certain types. But I don't know for how long. So this reason may change. But when I was thinking about this video quite a while back, because I don't just put these 7 reasons videos out, a lot of them take months and months of me considering and thinking and researching on. And back when I first started researching for this video and remembering back from my past and my experience, school buses were still pretty cheap. I mean, I paid $600 for mine. And it worked out great. I lucked out. Not anybody's ever going to find a unicorn like that, but back in the 90s, that was probably the equivalent of a few $1,000s when it came to buying a bus. So, they're still, and I still think that they're pretty relatively inexpensive. Okay, number 5, they have lots. Wait a minute, I skipped one. Number 4, sorry. Number 4, they have lots of room. You're going to get the same amount of room as you would in an RV of comparable size, depending on the length and the width of the bus. You know, it's going to be just like an RV. It may not have any slides on it or anything like that, but you're still going to get a lot of room. And if they already have a high roof or you do a roof raise, they're going to have even more room in them. And I've also heard about people taking like the storage areas underneath and dropping the floor down a little ways too, and making like a sunken living room and stuff. And some of the compartments are so big, like the ones in the Greyhound buses, that you could actually sink part of the bus down on the inside so that you have a higher ceiling, but still have enough room for some storage underneath as well. So those are some really interesting things that you can do. I mean, they're extremely versatile. If you have the skill and the money and the time, you could probably make something way better out of a school bus than you could anything else. And they're going to have just as much room, if not more so, than an RV of comparable size. Okay. Number 5, they have lots of windows to let light in. That could be good and bad for some people, but for me, I think it's, you know, if you're a person that likes a lot of light and likes to be close to nature, they could be a good thing. You have the view all the way around. The buses are made for passengers to be able to enjoy the scenery going by. And so if you live in something like that, if you keep all the windows, you're going to be able to see all around you and see all the scenery around you. And one of the reasons why we do this lifestyle is so that we can go to beautiful places and look at all these beautiful places. And if you're stuck inside for whatever reason, having lots of windows is nice, because you can look out your window while you're working or editing videos or whatever you're doing. And so, yeah, I think that that's a really good thing. And you can open all the windows and get a good cross breeze and all that kind of stuff. So yes, number 5 is a good one. They have a lot of windows. Number 6, and this is kind of funny. It may not seem like it, but they're very safe and secure. I used to put like a padlock on my bus, and I also had a little lock that I had on the inside. And whether I had it locked on the inside or the outside, if the door was closed properly, there was no way anybody could get in. They're made securely on purpose for that reason, so that when people are not on the bus and passengers have to leave their possessions behind, no one can get into the bus and steal them. So they are extremely secure when it comes to break-ins and things like that. And because they are set up, especially school buses, they're set up to make sure that people don't get hurt as bad during an accident. When the windows are extremely tough, they are very hard to break, and you know, for a good reason, because there's a lot of windows, and because if there is an accident, people could get hurt very badly. Well, they try to make it so that the glass is as shatterproof as possible. So if somebody was even swinging a baseball bat at it, it's going to take them a while to break in, and they're not going to do that. Most thieves are lazy, and if they can't break it on a few whacks, they're going to run away and go find something else easier. And as long as you keep the original door on the bus, it's going to be pretty secure. Now, if you put a custom door or a door for a house, then you're going to have to really make sure that you beef up the locks and the security on that to, you know, basically, as far as I'm concerned, be you know, up to par with what the old door was. And a lot of people do that just because they don't like the old door because it's ugly. And I left the old door because you could see out the side better. It's for safety, and also it's for security. So there you have it. That's one of the best reasons, I think, to own any kind of bus, is they're extremely secure. Let's see. Number 7, homes that are built out of buses always turn out very beautiful. They really are. I mean, they just have this very cozy, homey feeling. And it doesn't matter whether you just park the bus out in a field and build a house all around it or in it or whatever, or if it's going to be a bus that's on the road. Every single one of them that I've seen is pretty dang cozy. Yeah, there's some styles out there that people put in their homes that I don't like, but they really do look and feel like a home. You know, it's basically like an apartment or a penthouse on wheels, depending on how expensive you want to go. And if you're like me and you don't have a lot of money or a lot of construction skills, your bus can turn out pretty nice just doing like what I did in my van and do like a shabby chic, you know, thrift store build. That's kind of what we did in our bus. We built some of the stuff ourselves, but we used a lot of reclaimed stuff as well, and it turned out pretty nice as far as I was concerned. Not everybody liked it. They didn't like the style. It's not for everybody, but it did feel cozy and it felt like a home. So, I think for the most part, things like a school bus can be just as homey, if not more so, than a camper van. And Greyhound buses even more so. I mean, that to me, that's why they use stuff like that for like movie stars and celebrities, because those buses, you could basically turn them into, like I say, a penthouse on wheels. So let's summarize. Number one, school buses are just flat out cool. Any kind of bus is just flat out cool. I don't care what people, choose. Buses just have this really awesome look to them, and to me, they're very aesthetically pleasing, especially older ones. And I just think that they're really cool. Number two, they're well built and they're heavy duty. They can take a lot of abuse. They can put up with a lot of stuff. And like I say, if tree limbs fall on top of you, you're not going to die. Number three, they're relatively inexpensive to buy so far. So far, so good. We'll see. I don't know how, like I say, in the next few months, what's going to happen. But for right now, they're still relatively inexpensive. Number four, they have lots of room, just like a regular RV. You're going to get basically the same amount of room for a bus that's about the same size as an RV, with an exception of the fact that some RVs have slide outs. But if you're talking like older rigs that don't have slide outs, or rigs that are cheaper that don't have a slide out, you're going to get just as much room and a better quality vehicle, as far as I'm concerned, if you get a school bus. Let's see. They have lots of windows to let in lots of good light, and so that you can see around and feel like you're outside in nature even when you're not. Number six, they're really secure and very hard for anybody to break into them once they are locked and closed properly. And number seven, homes made out of buses are always beautiful and always a nice thing to see and very impressive. And even ones that are just like the poor man's version like mine, people are usually pretty well impressed with it. So I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, please like and subscribe, and check out my video descriptions for all kinds of goodies. And guys, any of you that has built out a school bus or any other kind of bus, just put it in the comments. It might help some other people out. I like to hear bus stories, and I like to tell bus stories. So yeah, it's just a neat thing. I try to include all kinds of nomads on my channel, not just van people. I think that we're all the same community and we all do it together. And especially because I'm the kind of nomad that's basically lived in them all. I've even lived in tents before. So, we all just need to share our experiences and share the fun. And have any of you guys considered a school bus for your next rig or your first rig or whatever? Put that in the comments too. I'd like to hear from anybody that has any input on this stuff. That's another reason why I put out these videos. And who knows, there's a lot more reasons to build a school bus. There's a lot more reasons to build a shuttle bus and consider a bus. And we can always revisit this subject at a later date. And yeah, guys, thank you so very much for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.